When we're live and recording and all that good stuff.
Yes.
And
Welcome
there's
back.
there's Tina and
Yeah, this guy from Philly.
everybody check in.
Yeah. Folks, when you get on, chat in. Let us know where you're from.
Yep. I'm still up here in Maine.
Right. I am in Bucks County, PA, right outside of Philly. But today I decided to do Philly.
Close enough.
You're close enough. 20 away.
And we're here to do how to drop in and get out of social
Oh,
media.
there we go. There's Lily. She's on I-78. She's on the road. Oh, I-78.
Be careful.
Yeah, really. Keep your eyes on the road.
78. Jesus. What's she doing down there?
Oh, husband's driving. Okay. They're hurtling towards something on 78.
Well, it must be.
That's a major highway.
Oh yeah, that's when I finally picked up 78 in Pennsylvania. My God, that gives me anxiety thinking about that.
Really? I'll tell a story about a very bad experience I had on I-78.
Really?
Our car. I was driving with a friend years ago. We were coming back from visiting somebody in somewhere up north, and we came down a hill that looked like a ski jump.
Oh no, man!
And the car, he was in an old Chevy Vega, Kevin, and that car.
Oh, those old things, they were horrible.
We went from the right lane sideways to the left lane backwards and slid up against the guardrail.
Oh man!
And we lived to tell the tale.
Those Vegas, they were back when American cars were bad.
They were bad.
Yeah.
3-speed Chevy Vega.
A friend of mine had one.
From Massachusetts.
Hello from Massachusetts. They had aluminum heads on them. Oh, Ron's in.
The whole thing was aluminum.
Yeah, I mean the
engine
crap. Yeah.
There's Ron. Halifax weighing in.
So we're kicking in now. We got the people showing up. Which is good. We got 3 more minutes to go before we start.
Come on in and get settled in.
Do anything.
Your cup of coffee or beverage of your choice.
Yeah, I have that.
Yeah, so this is Martin Luther King Day, National Day.
Yeah.
This one on.
We should be on holiday. So.
Yep. I decided to put it now.
I didn't really think about it.
Yeah. And did you each? Yes. Virtually.
What do we do?
He wants to know if we bought each other a cup of coffee.
I guess so.
Yeah, holidays get in the way of my routine. Yeah, right. And while we're waiting, folks, you might want to look at turn your attention below us to our little green button.
Down below, ginormous.
Yes.
You could have your online business up and running in 4 days. Join us for a live virtual 4-day business building boot camp.
Yes.
And that's what we'll do. Anybody who's listening to this who wants to do such a thing, take you from 0 to
we'll help you build your business.
100%.
4 days.
Have the basics of it set up, set up, ready to go.
Yeah, that's coming.
So this is related to that because this is these days social media is a part of that scheme.
Yep. One of those things that you need for your online business.
Yep. We're at 104.
Yeah. Anybody else weighing in? Let's see.
We got
people signed up.
Miriam is in. She's from Virginia.
She is.
105. We're ready to go. So.
Right next to Tina. Of course. Literally, right?
So Phil and I always work from a particular point of view.
Yes, we do.
We just do. It's always running in the background. And so it's best if we show you that point of view. Is it okay if we do? And if it's not, well, you can take off.
Yeah. Twitch.
Well, Tina says yes.
Got 2 yeses. All right. So good. I just happen to have a handy dandy matrix diagram.
It looks like 2 cross lines. That's what
Yeah.
the point of view looks like. And the way we show it to people is to start with the question, who's important to you? And we just chat about that a little bit. So I'll say like my wife is important to me. And dogs and husbands and babies and a son
Wife,
and kids.
dogs, baby.
I can do grandkids. We can
son,
also, if you want to, you can do things like goats.
kids, grandkids,
They must be important. I go out and feed them twice a day.
goats, students.
Students are important. All that you just bring myself. Right?
Myself.
So you bring into mind everybody. It's
And-
important.
And we just write them down.
You jot it down in the lower right. The point of view continues. We go over to the lower left quadrant and we write yucky feeling stuff that shows up inside of us and other people. The example that I like to use is fear. Most people are very familiar with fear. And but there's other yucky stuff that shows up inside of us. Guilt, there's another one. Guilt shows up inside of us.
Grief.
And grief, guilt and grief, 2 G words. Must be G day.
Yeah. Good grief. Background. Anger. Physical pain.
Physical pain shows up, yes. And shame. Shame.
Even on I-78, shame might show up.
Remember that famous scene out of Game of
Yeah, with the bells.
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones, you got it.
Imposter syndrome shows up. Anxiety shows up. You know, stuff like despair shows up.
Despair shows
Allergies show up. And are yucky. So it's just all kinds of yucky stuff. I mean, that's what goes in the lower left.
That down the lower left.
Since that stuff does not feel good, we tend to then do behaviors. And this, when we go up top, we're doing behaviors, observable behaviors. So when we go up there, we, like for fear, we might run, right?
Works for me.
We say, yikes, and we run.
Fail me now.
Yeah, exactly. So we got that. And then for any one of those, we might overeat. Indeed. We might talk too much. We might do that too. We might shut up. Always popular, take some meds. Well, what the heck? Now we got video games. Now we're playing video games. All right.
Video. Cool.
We don't have any wine in here yet. Usually we get the
And it's a holiday too.
two different kinds of wine.
Wine.
Drink wine and verbal wine. Wine and wine. Yep.
And your beer.
I got tears in my beer, right? Country western song.
Someone done me wrong.
So all kinds of behaviors that we do to get relief from that yucky feeling stuff. And then in the upper right of this point of view, we put the behaviors that we do that are intended to move us closer to those who are important to us. I already mentioned I go out and feed the goats twice a day. So they're important. So I go feed them. My wife, I might spend time in nature. There we go.
I might play with my son.
I go, behavior says chat. So yeah, my wife, I might chat with her a little bit. All kinds of stuff.
Meds again.
For a
Yeah.
walk with wine. Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Walking with
yeah.
wine with babies. Oh my, that's a lot. So
Walk.
all of that stuff, those behaviors that we're doing. Gorgeous, beautiful. Since it's a point of view, the task, the thing that you do is to notice that stuff. Maybe, and that is if you have the opportunity to notice that stuff, like in the next week or so, do you think you might have the opportunity to notice who's important to you and notice yucky stuff showing up and notice yourself doing away moves, notice yourself doing toward moves? So we got at least one person who might notice in the next week or so. That's cool.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, cool.
Yes.
Well, I see Phil switched boards.
Oh, yeah.
Because we just did the singular matrix. Now we're going to do one where it's designed to look at two or more people being together. And when two or more people come together, they instantly have a shared purpose. So we ask, what's the shared purpose? What's our shared purpose? I mean, today it might be what? I'll put in education. There. How's that? And then somebody put learn in. Lily put learn in.
Related to education.
There we go.
Learn.
What else might we might collaborate? Exactly. We might collaborate. Ooh, efficiency as they
Efficiency.
purpose and growth. Ooh. These are great shared purposes. Dissemination. All right. And better results. There we go. So all of these as shared purposes. And any two or more people come together and they just come up with that list. That's so you know what you're working on together, right? And of course today we're all talking about online business marketing stuff, so because it's in the title.
Marketing.
Now, when you go to work with somebody else, many of us have something show up inside of us called social yucky stuff.
The
special yucky stuff that shows up when we're go about working with somebody else, a team or something. So now, yeah, I mean, you can repeat some. I mean, fear definitely shows up. So we can put fear right back in there.
Oh, yeah.
So that always shows up when you're working with somebody else. Imposter syndrome. When ego shows up big time. You know, embarrassment shows up. Oh, and there's another form of fear of failure, right? And fear of being judged. I told you fear was in there.
Fear of.
Lots of fear ofs.
Controlling.
Yeah. Oh yeah, all of that and much more. Jealousy is a biggie.
There we go.
I mean, you sort of got to have somebody else to be jealous of, and so jealousy shows up as something to gets in there really quick. Anger. We haven't put anger. That's pretty popular when it comes to people being around other people.
Coming together and having anger show up inside of them.
Maybe nobody on this crowdcast has, but on others,
in Leighton Crew, especially in Leighton,
they've had anger show up when working with others. So fun stuff. Once again, same kind of deal. We go to the upper left. We're still going to be doing away stuff to get relief from the yucky stuff, but now we're doing it in the presence of one or more other people. So what might we do? I know one of the most popular. It's called leave. Or avoid in the first place. Avoid or leave or
don't show up. Just don't show up.
If you're going to stay with them, you can sort of overtly leave by checking your phone.
Oh yeah. Check it.
That's the sneaky way of leaving. You can zone out. That is a daydream. Definitely. You're still there, but you're not. There, what do they call it? There in body, but not in mind.
Uh-huh.
All right.
I'm gonna put in one. Complain.
That's popular.
Oh yeah, especially on a Monday.
How about gossip? We haven't had gossip. Tina just put in gossip. Gossip's usually popular. As a matter of fact, worldwide, it's the most popular, according to anthropologists and stuff, such.
Talk. Not talk.
So you get the idea. Social away moves. And then finally, of course, the upper right, we do stuff to accomplish the shared purpose, which can be general and specific. The general is communicate. You need to show up, right? And you need to communicate what the shared purpose is. So just good old communication. Now I would add communicate and also, and listen with respect. So communicate, listen, respect, all of these things are very ask questions. Right? So these are the basics of good, either for a couple to go by or a team to go by or a country to go by. People and give people a chance to talk. Exactly. Have honest conversations. There you go. And as I said, many of these are general, and obviously talk about the yucky stuff. There you go. Bring it out in the open. Yeah, that can be a toward move. And obviously, whatever you're doing is you can have specific tasks. Washing dishes, vacuuming carpets, making widgets, ordering supplies.
Put a sign in there for that.
All kinds of stuff, that go in there, assigned tasks that you do. And once again, it's a point of view. So we put noticing in the middle and we say, hey, you think you might have the opportunity to notice shared purposes and social yoki stuff and social away moves and social toward moves showing up in the next week or so?
What do you think?
Miriam says yes.
All right.
You might have that opportunity to notice that stuff. Yeah.
Yes, indeed, Melinda says. Tina, yes.
And so now we go over that, folks. And if anybody's listening now or on the recording, this is always recorded. That's sort of implanted in the back of Phil and I's minds because we've been doing it for better than 10 years. Around 10 years. 10 years now. 10 years now.
Yeah, more than that.
Yeah, it's 10. Well, you're right. It is more than that.
Yeah, more than 10.
Never mind.
More like
It's more
11.
than 10 years. So it's implanted in our minds.
A whole bunch of years you've been doing it.
And so that's going to be with us when we go to do the drop in and get out of social media for your online business marketing. And so what do we, drop in. Okay. So anybody can help out with this, but basically when it comes to your business and the way we do a business and we tell people all the time, the basic setup is you have an email list, and then you need a way of attracting people onto that email list. Crowdcast, what you're watching right now, is what we use to do that. So you now have a Crowdcast title like this one, the one we have, how to drop in and get out of social media. And then you say, oh, I got this cool title and I want to be presenting it to people. I should go over to social media and tell people about it. And there you go. That's where we're at. That's what we're talking about. That's the drop in, right? And so you drop in with a purpose. Ooh, does that relate to the lower right-hand part of the quadrant?
What do you think, folks?
What do you think? Drop it in. Going to do.
A purpose.
It's a
Aha!
purpose.
Yes, that's what we need. We need
So
a purpose.
now you're going in. Now you're going into social media. You're going to drop into social media, and so the purpose is marketing. It's in the title, folks. So.
We don't ask any hard questions.
Where does it go to cheat and say it's marketing? And you're going to drop into social media for
marketing.
So the marketing's in the lower part, and the upper part is drop into social media. That's what you're going to be doing. And you say, well, okay. Obviously, and we go over this in our business building. Well, we do it all the time, but on this one, if you want to also sign up for a mastermind that we do a couple of times a week, you can do that too, or you can do it in 4 days. Either way, we talk about how you take your Crowdcast title and then go find a niche. NICHE is what it's called, niche, a small group or a group of people in social media that you can then present that title to. And of course, what you're hoping for is that some people go, oh, gee, I would love to find out more about that. They then click on your title and sign up for your Crowdcast presentation. Voila. So that's what you dropped in to do. Is there anything more you dropped in to do, Phil?
That's pretty much the in and the out of it, Kevin.
Right. Did you go in there to check on birthdays?
Oh, well, that might be fun, but
Did you go in there to check on how your friend's cat's doing?
certainly possible.
The answers to these are no, actually.
Right. But how do they relate to this stuff down here?
Them called shiny objects.
Okay, so
So, and they may even be related to shared purposes in other realms. They may be, but they're certainly not related to your business endeavors. And so might take us down a rabbit hole, Miriam, and that's it. Has anybody ever noticed that the internet has a couple of 3 rabbit holes that you can go down? What do they used to, back in the old days, you don't hear the term very much. They call it surfing the web, right? Surfing. And what that meant, obviously, was you would see something to click on, and you would click on it. And as you were reading that stuff, you would see some other topic to click on. So you would click on that, and then you would go read about that a little bit. And then lo and behold, there would be something else to click on. And you'd do that. And that was called surfing the web, right?
There you go. I just did a little. There's a rabbit hole.
Well, in this case, we're just going to call that an away move.
For business marketing.
From what you ought to be doing, what you need to be doing at this particular time. And it's all kidding aside and stuff. You just got to have a little discipline. And the best way to have the discipline is know what you're going there for. Know the purpose.
Know your purpose over here.
Know your purpose. And so once again, we come back to the importance of knowing the purpose, knowing the shared purpose, what you're about doing. And then also have a plan for going in there, which is I'm going to find a niche. And then after I find the niche, I'm going to figure out how to put my Crowdcast title in front of that niche. Could be a paid ad, could be a free thing, could be whatever. We're not going to get into the intricacies of whatever you're using.
Got lots of moves up here that you can.
There's lots of different social things. There's Twitter and Facebook and LinkedIn and Instagram.
TikTok.
TikTok and things and stuff literally that I've never heard of, but they're all social media that may or may not work for you. Whatever it is, doesn't matter. You're going in there with the business of getting in. So how do you drop in? The drop in is know your niche before you head over there and have an idea of the kind of people that you're wanting to talk to, which is, of course, in part based on your online business. Today, we were interested in talking to people that were doing online business marketing. And so we're talking to you guys today. So we're doing that. So that's as simple as I just made that sound. Maybe it's not so simple.
Yeah.
What do you think?
But it is, Kevin, because that's exactly what we did. Think about what we did to bring you folks here today.
We didn't surf the web very much.
we didn't get on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram a whole lot either.
No. We go in there with a purpose in mind.
Right.
So that's how you get in. That's how you drop in and get back out. So then it's how you go about engaging to do it. But let's ask you this idea of setting up and running an online business, does any other yucky stuff ever show up in the lower left-hand quadrant? We'll see. Anxiety shows up.
All right.
Tina says a couple of things show up.
Oh, a couple. Oh, more than one. Oh, how about that?
How do you like that? Show up at the lower left. So in the context of overwhelmed with, well, that's why we're here. We're definitely don't be overwhelmed. To make it simple, because you will get overwhelmed. It's anxiety producing stuff, and if you're going into this with all of that load of anxiety and self-doubt, nobody put it in there. Do any of you have ever noticed self-doubt showing up?
Oh, I just put it in for me. Oh, good. I'm not alone.
We're not alone, Phil. We're not alone.
There, you raised your hand. There you go.
So in the presence of this fear and anxiety and self-doubt and stuff, and you bebop onto the net, and your task is to go present something to a niche, and some really juicy looking gossip pops up. So what are you liable to do?
Oh, I know what I'm doing. Anybody else? See if anybody's with me again on this.
Notice I said juicy gossip shows up.
Oh,
Let's wrap it all. Right.
Oh, you know what? This will just take a minute. I can go check this one out pretty
quick.
But
as I said, I chose the most favorite away move, which was gossip. So I chose that on purpose. And we all had a little, oh man, it won't hurt if I just go check that out a little bit. And you might, but you'd want to notice yourself doing it.
Something else.
And then so you can get back over to doing what you intended to do, which was find a niche and present your Crowdcast title to your folks. So, and it's not a case that stuff in the lower left is going to go away. Nope. It's just not going to happen. But you may well do the gossip thing.
Yep. That could be a pleasant diversion for a
diversion, a nice relief giving away move, because it is relief. Like, oh wow, cool. I'm not burdened with the actual task of taking the risk and putting something out there on social media for my Crowdcast, and instead I'm reading about gossip, and so that's more fun. But I've just gotten relief. You can, and you're going to do this stuff, folks. That's fine. What you want to do is have a plan to get right back over. When you get done with that, get on over to, okay, got to get my niche, got to get my Crowdcast title in front of that niche, right back over.
That ain't working.
And that's why it's so handy to have a very concrete, easy plan that you can go back to, because the net, the web, internet, by its very nature, is just filled up with shiny objects,
Oh man,
rabbit holes, and everything is up there. And so it's going to get it. And so that's basically, it's not a secret, but you want to practice that.
Yeah.
That would be a practice for you to do. Notice yourself chasing the shiny object, getting relief, and then notice yourself going back to doing your simple step. In, out, doing. So drop in, you just dropped in. And the get out is, well, I need a simple plan. I need some simple thing to get back to doing. Entering social media without the matrix, like entering the grocery store without a list.
exactly.
And that would be that's a good analogy, Tina. That's it, right? Because
Get in there like,
even worse, no list and you're going hungry.
yeah.
And now you're then you're going to come out with a cartload of snack food.
Yeah, right. Oh, this looks good. Oh, that looks good.
And not much. So, back to it. You want to be aware of your motivations and aware of that yucky stuff showing up inside of you. Aware of all that. But nevertheless, and what we teach in the boot camp that you can join. If you don't want to join boot camp, send us a letter and join the mastermind. Some of you are mastermind members, but most definitely then you want a very clear idea of what you need to do, which is you've created a Crowdcast title. And I'll keep going back to that. We teach Crowdcast, what you're on right now. So you do a Crowdcast title and you're going to go over and find a place to put that in front of people.
Tell others.
That's what you're about doing. And then you get it done, and then you can go check out more gossip.
Yeah. Back on social media if you want. Have a blast.
Do whatever. But that's how it goes. That's basically it. So what we offer you is that clear plan, that clarity, if you want to call it. Without the clarity, no, it's too hard. We give you concrete things to do.
Clarity.
For that matter, we'll help you with setting up your email list. We'll help you with getting set up on Crowdcast. We'll help you write Crowdcast titles. And then it's your job to go to Facebook, though.
Yeah.
We can't, or Facebook or whatever.
That part we can't do.
We can't do that part for you. That's because that involves whatever niche you're targeting. So we can't know all niches. But you might choose something else. I think some people use LinkedIn. Fine.
Yep.
Whatever works in the end. And you won't find what works on the first try. Sorry, folks. We're honest. We're not snake oil salesmen.
Yeah, that's a problem.
However, we can get that basic structure. You're doing that basic structure over and over again. And pretty soon you'll get used to dropping into social media and then dropping back out, because you just know I have a job to do over there, and I go do the job and get back out. And then you can go back later to do your social stuff, whatever it is.
Just like any new skill.
It takes time and practice. Yep, it's a practice. But Phil and I, you'll oftentimes hear us say the words chop wood, carry water. Well, on the internet, it's really hard to know what the wood is and what the water is.
Yep.
That's the problem. I mean, if you're down on the farm, you can the wood and the water are pretty obvious.
There's the wood.
Right, but on the internet, no. So what we offer you is the wood and the water. We give you the basic structure that you need to put
Help.
the system in place.
Help keep you out of the weeds.
Right, keeps you out of the weeds. And if you go in the weeds, that's
You
fine.
notice that you're in the weeds.
Now you'll notice you're in the weeds and get right back
Yeah.
out of them.
I am in the weeds. I'm
Instead of just endlessly chasing the next shiny object. And more than likely, eventually,
Matrix could be like the mission.
could be. But eventually, you do this, you'll have yourself a Crowdcast channel up and going, and people coming to watch stuff. And once you got that going, well, who knows what you can do? And Phil and I truly don't know what you can do.
No.
We don't know. But we'll help you monetize it.
We're willing to go on the journey with you.
We'll go on the journey with you, and we'll show you ways that you can monetize it
Right.
that are for you to then try out and see if you can make some money at it. But you start with the email list, then do the Crowdcast, and sort of simultaneously while you're writing the Crowdcast titles, you're thinking about niches.
Yeah,
That's who you want to write the title for.
Right.
You can define it more. In the course, we do email first, then we do Crowdcast, then we
Yep.
do niches, and then we do
monetize.
then we
Right.
do monetize. We do that 4-step model. And the one that's really necessary to be first is email list.
Yep.
Crowdcast and niche we can flip around. Last thing you do is monetize.
Yeah.
That's
You have to have the basic structure in place first.
basic structure in place. Yep. So that's what we do. And if you do this, and you don't, with us or somebody else, and if you click on the little button below, you'll see 4 day.
We'll
Difference
do
with us, if you do that 4th day, come out of it, you'll have yourself a system going.
Yeah. Yep.
There we go.
Oh,
And there's a
geez,
payment
there's a
plan.
payment plan. Thanks, Tina.
I hate to sound this way, but I will say it's worth every bit of $5,000.
Yes.
And it's not $5,000. As a matter of fact, it's worth more than $5,000. Because usually, if you go spend $5,000, you will not come out with a working.
You're not going to come out with any of this stuff that we just told you. You're going to have
They
to
give you all kinds of platitudes and theories and
Yep.
blah blah blahs and all of this
videos to watch.
videos.
Or as Tina says, yeah, you're not going to be.
All right, yeah, and you'll
those people.
You'll
That's not
never.
going to happen.
I mean, back in the day, I bought stuff from like Brendan Bouchard.
Right.
I mean, I didn't spend
Walker.
$5,000. I was on some lower plan, but I never shared an email or anything with any of those people. None, nada, zero. No, you're not going to have any contact
No.
with them. You'll have contact with us. And, we'll
Yep.
get you started. We like doing it. We enjoy it.
Absolutely.
And it's fun to see people get started doing it. It really is. So we hope you come join us. You come do it. You got any? There's 5 people on now, so
Yep.
people have logged off. But if you want, just let us know.
Yeah.
But we also know, by the way, part of Crowdcast is this is recorded, so who knows who will watch this in the future.
Yes.
By the way, and we need to remind ourselves, after the boot camp goes by, we'll need to change the button.
Oh yes.
Because
That's right.
the button will become defunct.
Reminder: change the button.
Just so you folks know that about Crowdcast, that button keeps on working. But if your offer, like this is a time limited offer, goes away, then you need to change the button. Could be a task for Phil and I. We got 103 or 4 Crowdcast.
Oh
titles.
yes.
Oh, there's no timer on it? No. Nope.
Once it's up, it stays up.
But the nice thing about that is, as much as it is, you can change it to whatever you need to change it to.
Yeah.
Uh,
Use it for different purposes later on.
But the good news is it keeps on working. You've just created, when you do a Crowdcast, nowhere in the instruction, but what the hell. When you do a Crowdcast like this, it instantly gets recorded. And people can find it with Google searches. Like that title up there, they can find. And when they come to watch the video, that green button is still working. That's really big, folks.
Yeah,
That's
huge.
really big. Yes. And we're live streaming this right now to YouTube. so
And that
So
great
anyway,
button also
the
goes
button
right-
works. It's very powerful medium. That's why we like doing it.
Right.
It's a nice way to get to chat with folks. And the chat works really well.
Yeah.
You'll see us staring over there to the right because we're looking over there watching the chat. And it's very easy to go and chat with people and answer questions and stuff. Very nice setup. So I think we're done, Phil.
I think so, Kevin. I think that's we got in and we got out of social media just like we said we would.
You know what my secret is? I'll tell folks. I don't particularly like social media. So it's really easy for me to go boom and back out. I mean, I used to play around with it more, but I don't know. I'm just too much of an egghead. That's my problem.
Yeah.
So I'll end up reading and doing other things.
Right. There's other things to move on to.
Playing around with social media and stuff.
Definitely.
But boy, I don't know if it's smart. It's just lucky, maybe. I don't get into it much. I do check out birthdays. Bill and I were talking about it before. I do check out birthdays.
Yeah.
Because I think it is a good way to wish people happy birthdays.
Yeah. And keep in touch with people. And
So I don't mind doing that.
no, it's fun.
Okay. I think we're done. I was just waiting around. Any more questions? No more questions? We're good.
You guys take care.
I don't know what we got on Wednesday.
We have social media bubble.
Oh, we like those.
Yeah.
We like to pick on those. Get out of your social
We're
media.
gonna be looking at that.
Just
Yes.
in case you're in. By the way, you're all in it, so don't worry about it. But
Yeah, it's okay.
we'll show you how to
We're all in
get
a bubble.
it. Bye-bye. Have fun on
Take it easy.
578. Be careful over there.
Yeah, really.
There's the end